Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Tayler Yarish Show. We are here. We are live. What's going on? Sunday, NFL's kicking back into gear. Giants are 2-0. Not going to last. What can you do? I've actually been trying to watch football. I can actually do that now. Like, for the past few years, I haven't been able to watch football. And now I fucking can, and god damn it, I wish I cared more, you know? I'm watching, and it's just not the same. It's not the same that it was, pre-pandemic, and like when I watched it. When you have nothing else in your life going on, football is fucking amazing. When you have nothing else to do or focus on, and nothing else in your life is bringing you joy, God, football really, it hits the spot. But you know what? After a while, I don't know. Maybe you just have to be fully invested in it, I think, to really give a shit. Because otherwise, I'm like, who cares? You know? I don't know. I don't care. Like, I enjoy watching it, but like, honestly, I don't care. I'm not invested anymore about whether or not, my team wins. And maybe that's because they were just shit for so long. But I don't know. It's just not the same. Like, when I was a kid, dude, It would change my fucking week if the Giants won or lost. And I wasn't even in, where I lived in Maryland, and like that wasn't even the team there. But I was a Giants fan, so that's what was. I don't know. Nobody else cared but me. But it would ruin my whole week if they lost. And it was tough. But now I really don't care, and I don't know if anyone else cares. I think you just get to a certain point where you pick a lane, you either got to be all in or not at all, and I'm really not in it, but I'm trying to be. I'm giving it another go. I'm gonna watch the Eagles game and the Commanders. They're the Commanders now. They're not the Washington Redskins because we decided that name and no good. Can't have the Redskins. Is it offensive? Who knows? Did we consult any Native Americans on this before we took the team name away? Or did just a bunch of white people complain and we were like, hey, good enough? I don't know. Again, this, I don't see it. It's not my perspective that matters. It doesn't affect me. You're right. The name Washington Redskins doesn't affect me. Maybe it was affecting people for a long time and I had no idea because I don't have any Native American friends. I feel like there's people that'd be like they'd be uncomfortable to say that, because they are, I don't know, because I guess they're a minority. Like people feel like they have to have, oh, do you even have any black friends? It's like, yeah. How many? Name them. It's like, what? What are we doing? But I feel like if you did that with Native Americans, most people don't have Native American friends. I mean, what are there, like 5 left? How many Native Americans are left, honestly? Like Native Americans that are out there fucking teepees and shit. Is that offensive? I don't know. I mean, honestly, I feel like most people are trying to go back to that. They're trying to go back to the way that they lived to a point, They had, they lived outside and shit. They had a teepee and they roasted stuff over the fire. That's half of my TikTok videos. Half the shit that gets recommended to me is some dude in the middle of the woods by himself making steaks over a fucking open flame, But that's the way people used to live, and now we're all just crammed up, looking at our goddamn iPhones as soon as we wake up. I've been trying not to do that. You ever just like roll over? You look at your phone, you're like, you have a notification. Yeah, I'm gonna click on that, and then you just are now looking at Instagram. You haven't even really opened your eyes yet. You haven't even opened your eyes, and you're already lost on your phone. I'm trying to like get a handle on that because, it's just fucking addicting, dude. That's why Native Americans should feel they should feel good that they don't have any phones because they don't get lost in the algorithm. What would be a Native American's algorithm if they had a phone? Is this offensive? We don't know. Like, would it just be hunting videos and, here are the 10 knots that you should know? I don't know, man. I really, to be honest, I'm so not educated on like what happened with the Native Americans back then, but I know the Whites did some stuff that resulted in them losing their land, right? We came over. They were like, hey, who the fuck are you guys? And we're like, yo, we came from Europe. It sucks over there. We wanted to see what was going on over here. And they were like, all right, well, this is it's kind of our spot. So you didn't even, I mean, they didn't have doors, but you didn't even you just came here, man? That's kind of messed up. Did you bring anything? Like, did you? Yeah, we got some stuff. We got some pasta. We got some squash or something. We have diseases that you guys have never encountered, so you'll probably do well with those. We got a bunch of stuff. We'll trade. We'll do some trades, and then maybe you give us some of your, chickens and sheep and shit or whatever you got, and then maybe we'll just be over here. We'll be over here in the corner, just kind of doing our own thing. Don't mind us. Keep doing your thing, Native Americans. Keep doing your, And that was around, like September. And then October creeps around, and all of a sudden, there's two European guys, and they're playing a game of touch football, and it kind of they start to bleed over into the space of the Native Americans, and they're like, hey, we're trying to have quiet time over here. Maybe you guys could just do that on, on your side, in your corner. But they were like, all right, so sorry, no problem. But it kind of kept happening, The Europeans are a little bit sloppy. They're all over the place. They're not really respecting the space of the Native Americans. So then one of the chiefs, he goes over to the leader of the the European dudes. He's like, hey, your guys are kind of, they're kind of fucking with our space. They're not really respecting us. What do you think we could do? And they're like, all right, totally, our bad. How about we just, we'll trade some more. We'll give you some more shit, some more diseases, and more pasta and some sauce and stuff. And, hopefully that can smooth things over. They're like, all right, cool. And then it's like later October, and they're like, all right, I think we got to, it's still not working out. They're like, I think we got to do a sit down, maybe discuss this out. And then that was the Thanksgiving. They did that around November. That was the Thanksgiving. A lot of people think that the Thanksgiving was a time where they sat down and shared and enjoyed each other's company. No, it was a meeting between the two bosses. It was a meeting where the chief of the Native Americans and the chief of the European dudes, they were like, we got to come to a solution. And, because we need more land than we have right now. And you guys have all this land. And they're like, well, yeah, but it's our land. We're not just going to give it to you just because you're here. We didn't know you were coming, And they're like, all right, well, they're going to be like, listen, Native Americans, I got to be honest, I got a problem with that. We got a problem now. So how are we going to fix this problem? And they're like, how are we going to fix this problem? I'll tell you. How about you go fuck yourself? How about that? And the Europeans didn't like that. They didn't like that. And so they're like, okay, all right. Famous last words. And then they just went at it. They went to war. And the Europeans won. They just slaughtered them. And then they took over that spot, and then they sent a raven back to Europe, and they were like, yo, we came over. There's this pretty cushy spot. We had an issue with the locals. Don't worry. We took care of it. Don't worry about it. Send Aunt Tootie over here with the boys and a few bread baskets, and I think we got a new spot, And that's what I think happened. That's my idea of what happened. I don't know if I'm correct. I might be misremembering a few minor details of this story, but that's how it came to be. Now, where along that timeline the Native Americans got casinos, we don't know. But, yeah. They seem to, that's like a thing with them, right? They all got casinos. That's the only thing I know about Native Americans. They have casinos and that a lot of them drink. That's like a Isn't that like a trope with Native Americans? Is they're real booze bags. They like to get into the sauce, as they say. Which I would be too, man. You know, if I had like this prosperous land and I had all this just I had all this shit. I had a whole country to myself and the buffalo and everything. And then a bunch of fucking people came over and were just like, hey, here's how it's going to go. And we're like, what? And then they just killed everybody you knew? Yeah, I'd probably want to fucking make a cocktail too. I've drank over much less, let me tell you. Yeah, man. Sometimes I feel like, you know what? I just want a nice frosty cold one. You have a bad set or something, you're feeling down. You're like, you know what? I think I'm gonna crack open a case of BLs, couple Bud Lights, couple 2-3 of them. Yeah, I couldn't imagine if I don't have any land, but if I did have some land and then somebody stole it all, dude. If someone stole your land, the place where your feet are on the ground, they stole. It's not yours anymore. It's mine, dude. That would suck. If someone stole your land, dude. But you know what? Here's the thing. And this is an argument that I've heard, not an argument, but just like a kind of the other side of it is like back then everybody was stealing everybody's land. So this idea that we got to give the land back to the Native Americans. Okay, which ones? Cuz they were stealing tribes from each other left and right. You know, you got one tribe. I'm gonna make up a name. That you got let's call it the Shinu tribe, and then you got another one. Again, making it up. You got the Hishidu tribe. You know, you got these two tribes, the Nishu and the Hishidu. It sounds Japanese, doesn't it? But they're Native Americans. They're Japanese Native Americans, and they had land. You know, they're a tribe, and dude, they were stealing them back and forth, left and right. That's all they did was fucking steal land from each other. So it's like, all right, if we're giving it back, how far are we giving it back? Are we just giving it back from the people that we stole from? Because then they're not going to give it back to the people they fucking slaughtered. Dude, everybody was slaughtering everybody, to my understanding, okay? So, I don't know. If it's like if the game is slaughter people for the land, then that's what we did. We won it. I don't want to say fair and square, but under those conditions, kinda. And also, we didn't even do a lot of the slaughtering. We just brought over, because we're like Europeans. We were just so gross. We're just so gross. We came over with diseases that their immune systems were like, what the fuck is that? You know, it was like the OG COVID came in there, busted, but like deadlier, you know, and they just came in, started spreading syphilis and whatnot. And they're just that, then their hair starts falling out. Their skin gets weird, and then they died. That was a lot of it. That killed most people, was disease. So, again, it's something where I guess, am a descendant of that. I don't know. I'm half like British, Irish, half Italian. So, I don't know when those folks. Who were the first people to come over? Was it Spanish? God, I'm so dumb. I think. Let's say it was the Spanish. All right. I'm not Spanish. I'm Italian. All right. I feel like Italians. I feel like if they came over, they're not gonna slaughter anybody. Maybe they're gonna slap your women around. Maybe they'll do that. Hey, you fucked up the eggplant. Something like that, like to the Native Americans. Be like, what are you doing here with this sauce? And then they just, they start to slap them around a little bit. Don't start with me. Don't start. Yeah, but they don't seem like murderers. Not until you got into like organized mob. I guess that makes sense. Yeah, they are murderers. The Italian mob. What the fuck am I talking about? The mob, but they don't like. So the mob does organized hits. They're picking people off one by one. They're not just mass. They're not a genocidal people, I think. Back me up on that. Call in if you know. I don't think there was ever a point in history when Italians were really just, even when they were in the, World War, like they weren't doing much, right? They were on our side, I think. Yeah, they're not like a slaughter a bunch of people type of folk. They're an orchestrated, organized, hey, he's going to be at the Cabana Lounge at 11, so send a couple guys over there, rough him up, and then they drag him out, they beat the shit out of him, and then they put 2 in his kneecaps and toss him out the back of a van. That's what the Italians do. But, yeah, these European Spaniards, if you will. Again, I'm not sure if it was the Spanish, but let's say it was. They came over, I mean, and also I'm idealizing an Italian folk from like the 1960s, and 1950s. Like that's what I'm thinking of. So maybe back in the day, maybe when shit was just getting started, people were breaking bread. Hey, there's new land to be had here. Let's build a fucking, Verizon store or whatever. Maybe back then, people were just murdering people more. They were just jacking everybody up because that was the name of the game. It was normal in your country to just walk down the side of the street. Oh, there's a dead guy there. Toss him on the big pile of dead guys. That's what it was. Dude, I've been watching Game of Thrones. They fucking killed everybody. I mean, brutal. Like, I'm getting desensitized to watch somebody's throat get cut. I mean, it's fuck. God, it sucks, man. Dude, before there was guns, dying was never quick, huh? I mean, unless you just got your head just clean chopped off, which your sword's got to be mighty sharp for that. You got to have a heavy swing for your head to just get lobbed off. But for some reason, even getting your head chopped off, that seems like so much worse than getting shot in the face. I feel like getting shot in the face is just boom, you're done. Getting your head chopped off, there's got to be. Is there like a split second when like he swings the axe and then your head fucking, comes off your body and turns and you're like looking back at your own body? That's got to be fucking horrific, dude. Just who's got that bit? It's probably Louis. He's got every fucking joke where like he's like, I wouldn't want to get my head chopped off because then like your face, you look so dumb afterwards. Your face when the guy's just holding you. It's something to do with having like no hair to like they can't hold you up. And they'd have to hold your head from the side, which isn't as cool, You want to hold anyway. Yeah. So back then they were just fucking. Just murking everybody, because that's what you did. The only way you died was fucking getting stabbed or you got poisoned. Dude, remember poison? Like, why aren't we... I feel like poison went away as like a way to kill people, Are they not making it? They got to be making poison. You know what it is? They dulled the poison a little bit, and now doctors sell it. That's what it is. We still have poison. We just get a prescription for it. We have a huge poison problem in this country. Yeah, we don't just poison one person anymore. Now we just put it in our food, and it kills us over a number of years and just makes us fat. That's what we evolved to. Don't just poison somebody and kill them. Just poison them, make them fat, and then make them want to kill themselves. That's the ultimate crime, right? If you just make people so unhappy and they just choose to do it for you, then it just gets you off the fucking, there's no charges. But, yeah, man, it was fucking wild time back then. And then, but that's what you had to be concerned about. You had to be concerned about someone poisoning you, someone fucking stabbing you in the guts and having it spill out over the town square, or getting fucking hanged. Somebody could hang you. That was the thing that used to happen out in public. We were savages. People as a whole were savages. And now you fast forward 2022 and we got to change the names of football teams because it hurts people's feelings. I'm not saying I don't agree with it. I'm not saying that we should have kept the name. I'm just saying it's interesting if you look back as, over time, how this whole thing has evolved. And it makes you think, like, where are we going? Because it doesn't seem to be slowing down in terms of what we are. God, this fucking video is so is that better? Yeah. God, it was fucking bright, huh? Yeah, in terms of, like, what people get offended by, what we need to, like, change in the name of, social progress or whatever. Can you imagine being back in, like, the fucking, 1600s or something, and you bring up social progress? They'd be like, what the fuck? What the fuck are you talking? I'm going to stab you in the throat. How about that? How about that for social progress? They would just torture, like, torturing people was a normal thing. Now we can't even torture people. We can't even torture enemies. Didn't they stop doing that at Guantanamo Bay? I don't know, man. I feel like, and this is the thing that I get into with the whole argument of, like, people bringing up the military and war crimes. The whole idea of a war crime is like, that's like our thing, That's like America's thing. Like, there's no war, like, the people in some other places, you know what I'm talking about, they don't have war. There's no crime. It's war. You do whatever you gotta do. You gotta fuck people up. You do it however you can. And if you gotta get intel by taking some dude and, peeling his fingernails off and then, slicing the webbings beneath his toes or whatever you gotta do to get the information, that's what you fucking do. But we don't do that anymore. We gotta be nice. We got to be nice to the fucking prisoners that want to bomb this country. We got to, 3 square meals, all that shit. Isn't that crazy? Sometimes it's crazy. Like, yeah, prisoners get 3 meals a day, right? I think they get lunch. They get breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That's not fucking terrible. That's not if you're homeless, didn't the guy do that? I think somebody did that. He wasn't homeless, but a guy went into a bank. This was like a couple years ago. A guy went into a bank, and he, like, had a gun, I think. Maybe he did, maybe he didn't. And he just went up to the teller, and he just gave her a sign that said, this is a robbery. I'm robbing this bank of $1. This is a robbery. And she called the cops, and the guy got arrested. And he got thrown into jail where he was given 3 square meals a day and health insurance. I mean, kind of a win-win. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, I know it's probably not the best insurance. It's not, the greatest. You get, like, but dude, if you got nothing going on, you get thrown into jail, but you get Obamacare. It's like, I don't know, man. It's not the worst thing. It'd be hard to explain to the other folks in there why you're in jail. Some guy who's in there for fucking, serving 2 life sentences for murder or whatever, and you're like, what are you in for? And he's like, I robbed a bank. Like, oh, sick. What'd you come out with? He's like, $1. Dude, if I'm robbing a bank, I'm robbing a bank. You ever, like, watch movies like Point Break or something, and you're just like, I think I could get away with it. You're like, I feel like, I don't know. There's a part, like, I feel like I could pull off a bank robbery. I don't know how. I don't know how I would do it, but, I mean, the guys in Point Break, they had a good system. They had, like, an in and out in 90 seconds system, which I think you got to do. You got to be in and out. You can't be lollygagging around. You got to fucking bust in, control the room, go right up. They don't hit the vault. They're getting greedy. And they were out of there. And I don't know, dude. I haven't been in, like, dude, banks nowadays, they don't even look like that they did in Point Break. In Point Break, it was like a fucking bank, big concrete slabs and things. But, like, now, I don't know. some of the banks you go in, they're just like, it's like a few of these open table office things with like a couple computers and these like shitty lounge chairs, and there's like one teller. It looks like a fucking Panera Bread in there, you know? Like, I don't know what banks are even like what they do in there. They're really becoming not everything is so online now. It's like you don't even need the fucking person in there. Yeah, the only thing you need is like I guess for like safety deposit box, but like, dude, yeah, working at a bank must be boring as fuck, cuz dude, if it's so boring and you're just surrounded by cash. I mean, you're not surrounded by cash, but like you kind of are. If you're a bank teller, you got to just have like a drawer full of cash, and yeah, the camera's on you, but I feel like I would find a way to like get around it, you know? If you're going to rob a bank, I feel like you'd have to do it from the inside. And I bet there's got to be some fucking loopholes. I mean, with every system, it's designed by people. It's going to fail. Don't worry, people. I'm not planning on robbing a bank. I'm just saying, like, as an exercise, it would be interesting to see if you could. Don't you think that? Like, if you could do it kind of like a video game, but it's real life, you know, you could choose to use other people or not. Like, don't you think it'd be fun to just see how it played out? If you could like wake up from a dream after whatever happened. Like, could you go in there and come out and like get away from the scene? Could you make that happen? Maybe, I don't know, maybe not a bank, because they're behind the glass. They are behind the glass, right? And I feel like in Point Break, they were just like sitting behind a desk, you know? But they are behind the bulletproof glass, so they could probably just duck down and then just, you know, they lock the doors and you're fucked. But you could definitely rob like a fucking CVS or something. You ever been in one of those things? The fucking, you know, security guy. He's just got a T-shirt on, says security. He's watching porn on his phone. He's not doing shit. He's getting paid minimum wage. He's not gonna fucking stop you. As soon as you bust in there with a Glock 9, he's gonna duck back into the candy row, open some Nerds rope, and fucking wait for the cops to come. Right? You could definitely get away with it there. I feel like CVS, there's such, you know, they probably still give you one of those you rob the place, they still give you one of those long-ass receipts. It's like, dude, nobody wants your fucking coupons, man. We don't even understand. It's like $2 off of fucking diapers, and it expires in 48 hours. It's like you're wasting paper. Oh, God. Fucking bother. Like, half the shit they like the self-checkout machines. Who had it? It was Nathan McIntosh. He's like, talked about he's talking about grocery stores, but like the fucking clerks now, you know, it's all just self-checkout, and their job now is to just stand there and help you with the self-checkout. They just got to stand there and watch you do their job. They're like, yeah, that used to be me. I think he did it in like a late night set. You got to go check it out. He's hysterical. Nathan McIntosh, everybody. Fuck. Yeah, I don't know. Don't worry. I'm not going to rob a bank. I'm just saying as an experiment. I think it might be fun. Maybe you want to go do that. Maybe that's your assignment for this week, folks. Anyone who listens to this pod, go try robbing a bank. Let me know how it is, and let me know how it goes. I will not bail you out. I don't have the money. Okay. That's the podcast this week. 1:30. I got to go watch some football because I'm trying to care, everybody. I got the Philadelphia Eagles right now versus the Washington Commanders. They're the Commanders now. Yeah, so hope you have a good week. Thank you for listening. As always, got a Yarbar Comedy Show on Wednesday at Tara Rose this Wednesday. Buy tickets, share, tell a friend, like, share, subscribe, all that horse shit. Have a good week. I'll see you next week. Goodbye.